5 repos your Grok Bot is missing. That viral list sounds like 5 plugins you should install today. It is not. One item is a directory. One is an unofficial reconstruction of the app. One is a software factory playbook. One is a real command line client. And one can touch your private iMessages. I cloned all 5, checked the current READMEs, ran every safe local test I could, and reviewed the available moving proof. The surprise is not which repo has the most stars. It is which one earns trust with the least drama. Here is the standard. I am separating usefulness from popularity. I checked what each project actually is, whether the repository declares a license, what setup and account access it needs, whether its local checks pass, and whether the footage shows real behavior or only a README. This is a source-grounded review, not a claim that I installed every tool into a live Grok Bot account. The original X video browses repository pages for about a minute. Only one of the 5 repositories includes a clean moving demo. That distinction matters because a polished README can describe an idea without proving the workflow is ready for your machine. Number 5 in my ranking is not bad, it is simply different. Awesome Grok Bot is a curated directory. It collects guides, skills, events, videos, and community projects in English, Chinese, and Japanese. The repository generator reproduced 156 entries across 8 sections without changing the checked-in README files. That is a good maintenance signal. Use it when you want discovery, examples, or a map of the ecosystem. Do not install it expecting new bot powers. It is a catalog, not a runtime. One small caveat. The README presents CC0 terms, while GitHub's license detector currently reports no asserted SPDX license. The practical verdict is easy: bookmark it. Treat every linked project as a separate trust decision. The most tempting repo is also the one I would keep farthest from a daily machine. Grok Bot 0.18 Reconstructed is exactly what the name says, an unofficial, source-oriented reconstruction of the shipped macOS app. The front-end and recovered source both passed TypeScript checks. 17 of 18 tests passed. The last check expected a 155 megabyte installer stored in GitLFS, but this machine did not have GitLFS, so the clone contained only the pointer file. That is a missing test prerequisite, not an application failure. The independent concerns are bigger. GitHub exposes no declared license, and the current production dependency audit reports 27 advisories, including 3 high-severity items. The star and fork pattern is also unusually compressed for a 4-day-old repository, so I am not using popularity as proof. Verdict: valuable for research, preservation, and auditing. Do not make it your default install until licensing, dependency posture, and a full reproducible build are clear. Grok Ship is easier to understand once you stop treating it like an app. It is a workflow and skill pack for turning Grok Bot into a small software factory. Work enters a local SQLite backlog as either Scout or Ship. A project crewmate drives cursor cloud agents. Ship work gets a fresh adversarial review before a pull request, and the human keeps the merge decision. Its focused triage suite passed all 67 tests here. The architecture is sensible because chat is not the source of truth, investigation cannot silently become a code change, and review happens before a pull request is presented as ready. The catch is stack dependency. You need Grok Bot, cursor cloud agents, forge access, and enough operational discipline to maintain the factory. Verdict: strong pattern for serious software work, but not a one-command productivity upgrade for casual users. The cleanest recommendation is Grok Bot CLI. It manages bots, groups, messages, and threads from a normal terminal. The repository includes a real 24-second demo showing a bot created, a group assembled, a message sent, and cleanup reflected in the Grok Bot interface. All 24 local tests passed. The production dependency audit reported 0 vulnerabilities, and the package is MIT licensed. It can reuse the signed-in macOS app session, so you do not have to paste tokens into shell history. That convenience is also the trust boundary. Install it only on a Mac where you trust the code that can read the app's encrypted session and routing credentials. For automation, This is the repo that turns Grok Bot from a point-and-click workspace into something scripts and scheduled jobs can drive. Verdict: install first if you want terminal control, and pin the package version before building automation around it. The iMessage skill is the most useful project for a narrow audience, and the most consequential if configured badly. It installs a local launched helper that can read, search, triage, and send messages for Grok Bot. The design documents an allow list, an explicit confirmation dialog before sends, and separate local permissions. All 135 tests passed in the local suite. I did not grant it full disk access or point it at a real messages database, so this is not a hands-on privacy claim. The practical question is not whether the code can send a message. It is whether you want a cloud agent connected to the most personal data on your Mac. Use it only with a tight allow list, confirmation enabled, a dedicated companion setup, and a clear recovery path. Verdict: excellent for deliberate personal automation, wrong for anyone who treats privacy permissions as a setup screen to click through. My ranking is simple. First, Grok Bot CLI, because the scope is clear, the checks are clean, and the repo shows real behavior. Second, awesome Grok Bot, because a maintained map is useful and carries almost no execution risk. Third, Grok Ship, for teams willing to operate the full cursor-backed factory. Fourth, the iMessage skill, powerful but only when its privacy consequence matches a real need. Last, the unofficial reconstruction, not because reverse engineering is worthless, but because a daily install needs a license, a clean dependency story, and a reproducible build before star counts matter. The viral post found 5 interesting projects. It did not find 5 equal installs. Links and the exact verification notes are in the description. Which one should get a full setup walkthrough next?